So now let me erase this and so that's look number 13. Number 13 is possibly the easiest question on this midterm. But you have to remember what you're doing exactly. You are trying to simplify it and also to rationalize the denominator. Meaning you don't want the radicals to be at the bottom. So the first thing I would do is, okay, if you place them together, you can simplify. They're both radical, right? So you can simplify, I think, by 7 in this case. So you can only do that because they both have a radical. So that would be radical 20 over radical 3, right? So this part is easy. But you gotta remember, you don't want the bottom to have any radicals. So how to get rid of it? Here. Multiply by the same thing as the denominator. Because while the top will become radical 60, the bottom, radical 3 times radical 3 is radical 9, which is a good old 3. And that's the answer. Number 13 gives you radical 60 over 3, and that's a true answer without any radical at the bottom. Like if you leave it like this, then I'll probably take like 2 points off. So now let's look at number 14. For number 14 is 9y plus 5y squared equals 18. So what I would do is I will rearrange everything. I will write 5y squared first, plus 9y, and I'll bring the 18 over, so minus 18. And we are back to where we have before. We need to do the quadratic formula. So you see there are quite a few problems. You gotta do quadratic formula. You will see that on the finals. Quadratic formula, it's just so fundamental to algebra. You gotta use it. Same thing in calculus, right? You gotta do it. So the first thing you do is, I'll identify my A, B, and C. And just plug in the information. So that's -9 plus or minus. That'll be 9 squared minus 4. A, C. All over 2A. So now we just gotta clean it up. So that would be -9 plus or minus 81, right? A negative times a negative is a positive. So that's plus 4 times 5 is 20. What's 20 times 18? 360. So 360 over 10, right? So that's -9 plus or minus radical. Well, that would be 441. No, 441 is suspicious. It looked like you can do a square root on it. I have no idea what it is. So, Will, do you have the answer? What's the radical of 441? I don't have my phone, so I don't know. Is it a perfect square?
21.
21, nice. And it's suspicious because it's on the midterm. Okay, if it's on the test, sometimes it's a nice number. Now in real life, if you ever have to do this, right? This actually is not beyond reason. If you ever do like welding or anything that has to do with, and even, I know Rossi, like, I know you work in a different field in the Air Force, but even for radar towers, like airfields and stuff, and air traffic, they actually do this too. Because you have to do, let's say here's the plane, okay? Here's a jet fighter, or the Chinese balloon thing that they've been working on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why my people keep saying balloon, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we misunderstood. Maybe we'll send out some Chinese food over, you know what I'm saying? The delivery one. But yeah, I won't tell people I say it. But anyway, here's the radar station, okay? They look at the altitude, like this, and they will do like it's like this is a kind of like a triangle situation, right? And you can pinpoint because you know the distance between two radio stations, and you know they detect how far away the object is at. So with that triangle, well, guess what? You have the A, B, C situation, which you can do the Pythagorean theorem, and also there are other that's not for right. This may not be a right triangle, but there are other ways you can do it. But you gotta use radical to do it. So. And then, so you do. I'm not saying you use a computer to solve the answer. But I'm just saying that applied to that. So that when they say that there was some unknown object over Canada, or 60,000 feet in the air, something crazy, man. Say, aren't you glad you know if you're in the Air Force right now, that'd be like one of the words and stuff. I think the Chinese are doing that like every month. So they send a balloon every other week to keep you guys alert. And then when you guys feel, you know what, nothing's gonna happen, then they're gonna send you to the mothership or something like that. I don't know. Man, my wife told me that she goes like, hey man, when are the Chinese gonna attack? I need to know ahead of time. You're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me so we can get prepared. I was like, I don't know. I said, you gotta talk to your cousins. I was like, what cousin? I was like, you got a cousin? You got a cousin in Shanghai? I haven't talked to him for years though. That's on campus. Yeah, that's awesome. I always expect people at work to tell me that. And I, say whatever, man. They didn't say whatever. But anyway, that's 21, right? So you have two answers. The two answers are -9 plus 21 over 10, and -9 minus 21 over 10. Because you got the plus version and the minus version. So you gotta figure it out from here. I'm gonna have to erase that part of the balloon before I put on YouTube. People think I'm racist or something. I can't be racist. That's my country. That's my country. They're gonna ban me. They're gonna cancel me for saying about my country. But it's true. I'm just saying balloon. I don't know what's going on. So look at this. -9 plus 21 is a positive. That's 12, right? 12 over 10, which is 6 over 5, right? And this guy's -30 over 10, which is -3. Now, I like this. Right? It's a nice number. Now little eyes and all that stuff, so I like this. A lot of stuff on 14, but it's the same thing over and over. Quadratic form. Just pay attention, take it step by step. It's the same every single time. Now let's look at number 15. 15 is a bit different now. It's actually easy. Number 15 is going to be -3 for everything. Y plus 8 squared equals -300. So for this guy, look at it this way. I want to get that square isolated. So what I would do is, I would divide by -3 on both sides. So that'll be y plus 8 squared equals 100, right? So you gotta take at this point you take a radical around both sides to get rid of the square. So that will be y plus 8 equals. That is 10, but don't forget this, right? I think this partially how people get it wrong is when you take the radical, you should get plus or minus 10. So a lot of people forget about this. And they only get one answer, you should get two answers. Now -8. When you -8, you get two answers. You have, so this is plus or minus 10 minus 8. So you have 10 minus 8 and negative 10 minus 8. Gotta work it out. So that's 2. And that's negative 18. And that's it. Those two are your answers. This one's pretty straightforward. We did a problem like number 16, but I want to do it one more time because 16 is hard. I'm not gonna play game. Number 16 is difficult. So mainly because of the asymmetric stuff. And there's just so many steps in the middle. So for number 16, here's the deal. Before we even do anything, I want to solve this guy first. 5y squared minus 37, y minus 24. I want to be able to factor this mess before I even start to attempt the whole problem. And for this guy, you have no choice. There's nothing to factor. You can't take out 5 of those guys. So you have no choice but to do the AC method. So remember, in this case, the AC would be 5 times negative 24, which becomes what? Negative 120? Right. So you gotta start at 120. Could be worse, right? It is big, right? But it could be worse. So I will list all the factors for 120 before I proceed. I know that this guy is 1 times 120, 2 times 60, 3 times 40, 4 times 30, 5 times 24, is that right? 6 times 20, 7, 8, I think 8 goes in there, 15 times, 9, can 9 go in there? Nope. 10, go in there 12 times. Now look, can we find a factor, a pair of factors, right, that can give you 37 in the middle? Yeah, I can. Yeah. 3 and 40. Because if this is plus 3 minus 40, I would get exactly minus 37. So this guy is nothing but, remember we gotta break it up in the middle. So you would get plus 3y minus 40y minus 24. And now you have to factor by grouping. So you gotta take that stuff in the middle like this, right? So that will be y goes in there, that's 5y plus 3. You can take out the negative, right? And 40 and 24 can both be divided by 8. So that will be 5y plus 3. Because negative divided by negative is a positive. So just like before, this would be y minus 8. And then you copy the other two, and you get 5y plus 3. So this is the factor version of this mess right here. That's what makes this problem difficult. It's the AC method. Once you have that, it's cool. So now we can apply to number 16. So we already know what the left upper corner is going to be. So that will be y minus 8, 5y plus 3, all over y minus 4. Now on the right hand side, this one's easier. Because 28 is 4 times 7, right? So minus 4 minus 7 will be minus 11. So there'll be y minus 4, y minus 7. That is right. I love this. Once everything is all factored out, everything is already laid out like this. This is my favorite part because y minus 8, that's canceled. Y minus 4, that's canceled. So all you have left is 5y plus 3 times y minus 7. And that's done. It's a difficult problem due to the AC math and stuff. The number 17, on the other hand, is probably the easiest problem. It's one of the top 3 easiest. Radical negative 18. Right from the start, I'll say this. Just do this. Radical 18 times I. You know that negative has to come out at some point. So I will let that be an I just to make it easier. Now 18 came to the radical. Not the whole thing, but 18 is 2 times 9, right? Radical 9 is 3. So that's 3. Radical 2, I. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Now if you forget about the I or whatever, I'll take a point off. But you should try to get it all correct for the 17. The number 18 and 19 are practically the same type of problem, and they're pretty difficult. Because it's just a lot of steps. So number 18, 6 over y plus 2 minus 3 over y minus 3 equals 1. The very first thing I would think about is that anything I can do to make this way easier? I know that the problem has step 1 and step 2. Listen, just solve the problem. Like just count multiply. So on the midterm, I'm gonna delete all the wordings. You just gotta show me how to do it. So the easiest way to do this problem is multiply the LCM to get rid of all the denominators. But how do you do that? Well, here, LCM is simply all the guys at the bottom. Like imagine, let's say this is 2 and this is 3. What's the LCM? It's 6, because 2 times 3 is 6, right? Just multiply. The LCM should be whatever's at the bottom. Basically everything in the bottom. Just multiply this guy to everyone, right? So again, on the midterm, I'm gonna delete all those words. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna delete all those words. I don't want steps and explanations and anything like that. Just tell me how to do, and I will take it. So that'll be y plus 2, y minus 3, y plus 2, y minus 3, and then y plus 2, y minus 3. That's the easiest way to solve the problem. Everybody gets one, right? And now what happens here? What happens is the y plus 2, that cancels. So you get what, 6y minus 18, right? The y minus 3 cancels. So you get minus 3 times y plus 2. You don't have to do all at once. And then this guy right here, y plus 2, y minus 3. That's because times 1. And if you do work it out from here, right, you get 6, oh, my bad, that should be 6y, right? My bad. 6y, forget a y. So that should be 6y minus 18 minus 3y minus 6 equals, and then got to the FOIL, right? wy squared minus 3y plus 2y minus 6, right? And if you work it all out, 6y minus 3y, that's 3y. Negative 18 minus 6 is negative 24. Right? And that's y squared minus 1y minus 6, right? So I'm just kind of cleaning it out step by step. And finally, you can take minus 3y plus 24. Just bring them to the other side. Minus 3y plus 24. Like that's right. So again, 0 equals y squared minus 4y plus, what is it, 18. And I tell you what, in a regular problem, at this point, you will have to do quadratic formula to get the answer. Because 18 is not going to give you factor to get negative 4. But I tell you what, for this midterm, you can stop here. So just I'll remind you on the day of the midterm instead. For number 18, you can just stop right here in the middle, and I'll just count that as correct. I mean, if you go on and work it out and get the answer, whatever, right? That's your full credit. And I don't want people to feel like they're pressed for time. So if you could stay after class on the midterm, I'll stay as long as you need me to until you finish. Don't tell people. Don't tell my boss that you have unlimited time. I don't like time tests because it makes people feel anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Number 19 is very similar, but for number 19, they want the answer. So, x over x plus 2 plus x over x squared plus 3x plus 2. 1 over x plus 1. The very first step you should do, right, is I'm looking at that middle guy. I think I can do something about the middle because that's 1 times 2. Plus 1 plus 2 will be plus 3. So there will be x over x plus 1, x plus 2, and then this is 1 over x plus 1. So you gotta figure out how to factor the middle guy. So now you get this. And I'll leave a lot of space here for a reason, because we are going to do exactly the same thing. I will multiply the LCM. And in this case, what's the LCM? It's exactly what you see in the middle. All you see is x plus 1, x plus 2, right? So multiply x plus 1, x plus 2 next to everybody. So I'll write x plus 1, x plus 2 next to everybody. And now I can cancel. I can say, well, x plus 2 here crosses out. X plus 1 crosses out. X plus 2 crosses out, right? X plus 1 crosses out. So let's see what you get. That will be, you're going to multiply, so that's x squared plus x. You're going to distribute, right? Plus x equals, that's 1 times x plus 2, so that's just x plus 2. So in one step, we clean out all the fractions. Everybody just a good old x or 2 or whatever it is, or x squared. And just keep in mind that this is 1x plus 1x, right? So that's x squared plus 2x, right? like this. And I'll go ahead and subtract, right? So this is also 1x right here. So minus 1x, minus 1x, minus 2. You gotta do minus 2. We don't have space for minus 2, but it's all right. There will be x squared plus 1x, right, minus 2 equals 0. And once you get to that point, you can think about, how do I get plus 1 if you have a negative 2? Well, 2 is 1 times 2. So that's the only option you get. 1 times 2. How do I get a plus 1? Well, minus 1 and plus 2, right? So that will be x minus 1 times x plus 2. So what does that mean? When you set each equals 0, you get 2 answers. X equals 1 and x equals negative 2. Those 2 are your answers. For now, we gotta check them, right? Now, why do I say for now? Because when you plug in x equals 1, we don't have a problem. 1 plus 2, that's 3, that's fine right here. 1 plus 1 is 2, no problem. But what happens when you put a negative 2? If you put a negative 2 here, negative 2 plus 2 is 0, right? Remember, your denominator cannot be 0. So you put a negative 2, that bottom would become 0. So this is a no-go. X cannot be negative 2. That's gone. So x equals 1 only. On the midterm, let's say you gave me both answers. Man, I'll probably just give you full credit because that's a lot of work, right? 19 is hard. Not anytime when it comes down to fractions, that's when it gets really difficult. I have faced these 2 problems. If I was short way to the end to do those 2, it just, that's too much. So you guys doing okay? You're getting tired. Well, I was gonna ask Rossi. There was an Air Force general not long ago. Sent out a memo. I forgot his name. Mini file, whatever. But he's like a 4-star Air Force general who is in charge of transportation, I believe. And he sent out a memo to everybody under him, like all the officers and senior NCOs, saying we'll be at war with China in 2 years. We gotta get prepared, mentally get prepared to go to war. And then of course people, they said they leaked the info. Yeah, you know how people do. They put on Twitter and say, look at this memo we got. And basically he's under heavy criticism. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Do people generally in the military believe that we'll go to war with China? Have you ever heard people talk about it?
I don't know. My dad was saying something about that too.
Okay.
Before he passed, he was just saying like,
We'll go to war.
yeah, something bad's about to happen.
It's always going to be prepared, right? It's always going to be prepared. I don't fault you for preparing. Now, if you're seeking it, then that's a different story, right? I'm saying, man, I will tell you this right now. I'm Chinese. I'll tell you this right now. I don't believe Chinese have the balls to go and do this. Anyone who have a brain knows you can't fight Americans. Not on any, how you say, a real, like a full-scale battle. You can't fight. Look at the Air Force. How many planes you got?
Well,
Chinese can't fight.
More planes than us, surprisingly.
Yeah, but Chinese planes, they don't work though. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And our pilots, Chinese pilots, they don't have the hours that you guys do. You guys have hours because America can splash on the jet fuel and spend the money.
Oh yeah.
Chinese can't do that.
Military budget out of everybody in the world.
An aircraft carrier, you guys have about 13. America have 13 about, right? We have 2. And those 2 are, we bought from the Russians and we fit. They just say it's state of the art or whatever. I don't believe it. And also, when was the last time China went to war? I had to go back. I believe was right after Vietnam War. So after you guys fought Vietnam and you guys withdrew, well, guess what? We got in there. and we got ass kicked. So we're like, you know what? It's not. But we smart where we know when we lose. It's like, you know, it's not winning. This is not winning. We took a cities too. We took Ho Chi Minh City. We took North Vietnam cities. But then we saw a casualty. So wait a minute, these guys are hiding. So let's get out. But I don't think China's gonna war. But if we do, they're gonna lock my Chinese ass up. I can tell you this right. They're gonna lock my ass up. They're gonna put me in prison where I do. You know, in World War II, they put them Japanese internment camp. They're gonna be a Chinese internment camp. They're gonna put my ass in. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have to fist me in prison. Yeah, send some care package. And you know what? I understand. I understand.
And they'll ship you off to Puerto Rico. It's okay. You'll be safe there.
I don't know. Like the Chinese might send people there, and then you get fear that Chinese will be, because China. If China do go to war with the United States, you know the first thing they do, they're gonna kill them. They got people there.
Yeah, you're right.
They're gonna make sure the whole place is fortified, including Puerto Rico. So I don't know now. But I tell you, there's a lot of Chinese in California and Seattle. They're gonna round them up. I'm just saying, you must, because you know what? If we go to war with China, what do you think will happen to Americans in China tomorrow?
They'll get shipped off.
Shipped off, deported, or at the minimum in prison. At the minimum. And honestly, not just America, any white people. That's how they're gonna do it. Yeah, so I think that's gonna happen. But I'll add it off from YouTube. But I was just thinking about it. Wow, we do go to war, man. I was gonna say I might lose my job. They might fire me, so I don't indoctrinate people. But then they may not find anybody to replace me, because nobody will do this job. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I'm all right. So, now number 21. 21 is actually not difficult. Use this formula. It's always gonna be 1 over time 1 plus 1 over time 2 equal to the 1 over x. So remember the formula I gave you regarding the work rate, right? How fast people work, that's all of that. But just use that formula for number 21, and you will always get the rate. Right. And I will remind you on the midterm, right? Do the midterm. So for this guy, what we should do is, the first person takes 8 hours to proofread this chapter. So it's 1 over 8. The second person takes 5 hours, a mandate. So it's 1 over 5. Over equals 1 over x. So that's how you set it up. Just to set up the problem, that's 2 points. Right, so you just gotta work it out. So when you work it out, here's what happens. I want a common denominator. But what's a common denominator? Well, you have 8, you have 5, and you have x. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 times x is 40x. So multiply, again, everybody gets one. 40x next to everybody. Everybody gets a 40x. And now look. 8 goes to 40. 5 times, right? So that's 5x. 5 goes into 40 8 times, so that's 8x. And the x crosses out, right? So that's 40. So that would be what's 13x equals 40, right? And then you divide it by 13. What's 40 divided by 13? What's it's like 3 point something. I don't know what it's 3.01 or something. You got the answer? What's 40 divided by 13?
3.07.
Thank you. So you have this, it's cool. So about 3 points. But this one, the word may be confusing, but with this it's easy, right? Right, and now you know number 21 how to deal with, so you'll be all right. So number 22, so number 20 and 22 we did it in the last class. So we can do that again on Tuesday if you want to. But we'll skip that as well. I want to do number 23 though. Because 23, we haven't done that in a hot minute, and I don't want people to go crazy. So for number 23, before we even start the problem, the moment I see the word gravity, The moment I see the rock thrown and all, the velocity, I know it's a gravity problem. So immediately I think about, here's what I think about when I think about gravity. I think about Kim Jong-un from North Korea. I'm playing. No, they just showcased ICBM. Did you see that? They just showed it. Google it. They showcased a new missile. Supposedly can fly all over the United States. I don't know if that's true. I don't believe it. I don't believe. I have seen some North Koreans. I don't believe it. And Chinese have cut them off for a long time. I bet if they shoot that missile, it's gonna go right back down, like gravity. You know what I mean? Because it happened before. There's no bomb on it. They shoot it and come right back down. I think that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, gravity is North Korea. All right. So, and in North Korea, when you shoot a missile, here's what happened. This is a formula, right? It's H equals. In our case, you see it says meters. So we do meters now. For meters, we're going to use negative 4.9 t squared plus phi 0 t plus h 0. So remember that's 1/2 of the formula that we use for the gravity. One is for meters, one is for feet. And I'm telling you ahead of time, we're going to use the one for meters. And this is the last problem, right? And all you got to do is this. Look at the formula and then look at the problem on the sheet. What should go into those information? What information do you plug in? It says the rock, not the Wayne Johnson rock, but a rock is thrown. He was my idol. I just want to let you know. Until Fast and Furious, but whatever. In WWE, that's my boy. I still watching WWE. Roman Reigns is Saturday. Elimination Chamber. I don't care what people have to say.
I didn't know there were so many. I saw like Jake Paul, Logan Paul was in them. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, he got his ass beat by Roman. But I don't think he's entertaining in some way. But yeah, I don't think he should be on there because he crazy. But yeah, this Saturday, man, elimination chamber. If you got Pink Dot TV, go check it out. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Sammy's my boy. So it was. But I think Sam's gonna lose. I know how they plan it because I watched it for the last 25 years. So yeah, I don't care what people say. My wife says it's fake. My wife said, "Why do you want to watch a bunch of naked, half-naked guys and tackling one another?" I like watching it. Anyway, for height, right? For this one, right? The velocity is 17, meaning you throw the rock at 17 meters per second. So this guy is 17. When they say velocity, initial velocity, it's always this guy. And they say the height is 35, right? The cliff is 35. So 35 is the initial height, is how far up top the rock was before you throw it. And then they say, when will the rock be 10 meters from the ground level? Well, then the height would be 10. You are looking for the t, looking for the seconds. So let's go ahead and rewrite everything. 10 equals to this way. Let me double check just to make sure this is important. Okay, good. So now, what we can do is, I will take this 10 and I'll subtract it to the other side. So now you get 0, negative 4.9, t squared, plus 17t, plus 25. So now you get A, B, C, right? A, B, C. And one more time, we're going to use quadratic form. You see that we can have 6 problems right now. I counted. Then you use quadratic form. It's the same thing. You go ahead and just plug it in.
So, in other words,
There'll be negative 17 plus or minus 17 squared minus 4 A C, and it's all divided by 2A. You just gotta take it step by step. Use your calculator. Now, well, I don't have a calculator, so can I count on you, please? What is 17 square?
289.
289. And that will be a plus. Could you please multiply those three guys together?
So 17, that was 4.
17,
is 68.
68. So that's this whole thing, right?
Okay.
Like 4 times 4.9 times 225.
Yeah. 4 times 4.9 is 19.6.
And then times 25 for the
Be 490.
490. Very nice. So then this will be negative 17 plus or minus. Radical, could you add 289 and 490? Oh, I guess I can do it myself.
779.
Thank you. Over this right. Now the next one is the big one. Could you take the radical of this guy and just round to one decimal, please?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know how the hell do that.
Isn't a radical? Oh yeah, is this there's an Android?
Yeah.
Radical, and it's a percent. So it's 27.9.
Okay, gotcha.
Easy, right? I like the Android. And obviously, during the midterm, I'll have the calculators available for it. So now you just gotta figure it out. There are two answers. There's a plus and a minus version, so we're gonna do both of them. So let's see. We are going to have negative 17 plus 27.9 over negative 9.8. And then negative 17 minus 27.9 over negative 9.8. And for Android, it's probably easier if you do one step at a time. Get your calculator ready.
Yeah.
Do negative 17 plus 27.9. Oh, negatives, right? 17.
17.
And then plus 27.9.
10.9.
10. So this is a positive 10.9 over negative 9.8. Can you divide 10.9 divided by 9.8? The answer will be negative, regardless. 10.9 divided by 9.8.
Negative 9.8, it'll be negative 1.11.
1.11, so 1.1 basically. And then the other side would be, can you do 17 plus 27.9? I think that's 40, is it 44.9? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And then that's over this, right? So you see, we have two negatives, so you know that has to be positive. So what's 44.9 divided by 9.8?
4.58.
4.5. So 4.6 basically. And remember what we said, the negative is discounted. Because you can't go back in time, right? Not X-Men, right? That's not Cable, right? Not Deadpool. Well, Deadpool can't travel in time. What can Deadpool travel back?
I don't know.
Only Cable can. Yeah, Cable can do.
Yeah.
Who else?
I know Evan Peters played him on X-Men though.
Yeah, so guys. I should know more, but I used to read that stuff. But 4.6 is the answer. Thank you. But that's it for the midterm. On Tuesday, I will do a little bit more. How about this? If I was you, man, this weekend, forget about the homework. Forget about everything. If I was you, I would do this. There's answer keys as solutions. I will work every problem out, and I will write down the ones that I do not know for sure to ask me questions on Tuesday. And also make a formula sheet that you want. You know what? Just bring this with you. How about that? Bring this with you and just work it out. Don't tell anybody. I'm gonna edit out too on YouTube. Just bring it with you. I want you guys to do I want you guys to, not just for the grade. I don't want people to, oh, let's get an A in this class. No, I want you to understand how to do it, because who knows, man. I've been always saying this, right? To make it, the economy's getting worse. I think engineering is the way to go, nursing is the way to go, and they require a number of math classes. That's why the pay's higher. You know what I mean? The pay, you don't see the pay high being, I don't know, some stuff that, well, I was gonna say something like, if it's stuff you can just get into, the pay won't be high. But that being said, I also promote military service. I didn't have to do much for the military. I just have to show up, you know what I'm saying? Now, Air Force, you need higher score. So Rossi will be the one to talk to. I should join that. Why did I join the Air Force? I don't understand though. How come the Air Force recruit didn't come talk to me?
I don't know, he scammed me though.
Well, only the Army people come talk to me. So I was like, wait a minute. My Air Force should be good enough for Air Force. I think. But anyway. But that's why I got so study and don't be afraid. If you have questions over the weekend and you want to answer right away, okay, give me an email, text me, whatever, take a picture. I'll work it, I'll send it back to you. All right, so I was like, and also the thing, I don't know, your mom sent you the receipt.
Yeah, she said she was gonna email them.
Right, and I'm sorry about it. I don't
No,
know what
it's
is
okay.
happening. Yeah, but understand for the homework, if your midterm is good, I don't care. Your midterm, you pass your midterm, get A in your midterm, and you come to, hey, can you just give me the homework? Okay, whatever. I'll give you all units too. Because at the end, it's about the midterm. Do you understand how to do it? So I'm okay with it. So, but study, and I'll see you guys back on Tuesday.
Okay. Do we have class on Monday? Because I think it's a holiday. I don't know.
I think it's President's Day.